Boom! What up? What up? What up? All right, here we are. Another Moto Monday night, 7 p.m. live Central Time. What's going down, boys and girls? See who's up in the spot tonight. Let me move this laptop just a hair. There we go. All right, so let's see. We got Lauren up in here. We got Jesse Martin. Big Brian, what up, Adam, Monroe, Eric, Tommy Shea, we got Chris, Anthony, sweet, got all the boys up in here. So how's everybody's Christmas? Everybody doing good? We're just getting back in town. Can you give me a thumbs up, because I don't think Mel is watching tonight. Thumbs up if I'm coming through clear. Somebody, just to make sure you guys can hear me all right, and then I'll jump in here. Anybody? Microphone working this week? All right, sweet. I see Brian right there. All right, cool. Yeah, man, hope you guys had a good Christmas. We actually just got back in town last night from Colorado Springs. We went out there. Mel's parents are from out there, or actually she's from out there. Her whole family's out there. So we went out there, hung out for we were out there for 5 days, but it's nice. Colorado Springs is a super nice spot. It was freezing one day, freezing, but then the very next day it started to warm up. But either way, good time to see family, and got to hang out, and we actually got to drive around and look for some deer like I always do. Saw some, I always want to call them elk deer, but they're not, they're mule deer. So I saw some mule deer out there, and it was a good time, good trip. But we got back home. We got home last night. And I was wide open when I got home. We stopped late in the drive, and I ordered a grande iced coffee. And the lady mistakenly gave me the guy behind us coffee, which was a venti. So she's like, keep it, because I can't take it back. So, of course, I took the venti and the grande and crushed it. Both of them on the rest of the way home. So by the time we got home, I think it was 7:38 we got home. I was wide awake, pinned, and ended up unloading the entire car, unpacking all my bags, unpacking everything, and I couldn't go to sleep, dude. So I even went down, packed orders, got all the orders packed last night, so they were all ready to ship this morning, and was wide awake. So it was pretty funny just getting home, doing all that, but other than that, man, let's see what else is going down. We are very close to New Year's, and the next big thing I would say on the radar is going to be the California class. And I know I told you guys last week that I was going to put it up last Friday, but then I realized if I put it on Friday, it's a 2021 class, and if I put it up, it'll actually sell in 2020, and then it'll go on 2020 taxes. So you know how all that works. I want the 2021 classes to be on my 2021 tax return. So I'm not putting it up until the Friday is the 1st, I believe, right? So it will be up on January 1st. That way it stays on the tax stuff. You know how that goes. So that's why I delayed it, because I don't want you guys to think I'm telling you one thing and not doing it. But there was a reason why I decided to pull the plug and wait. But we're getting really close. Let's see who else. We got a lot of other people jumping in, right? I'm seeing new names. We got Zayden up in here. We got Monroe, Colin. Who else I saw? Pete. Big Pete's up in here. KS is in the spot now from Australia. Lauren, Tommy, yeah, Big Bang. We got Howard's up in here. Big Feist finally made it on. And Big Nate's up in here. Well, sweet, man. I'm glad everybody is here. And like I said, man, I hope you guys had a good Christmas. California class is going to be January 30th in Southern California. Plan on doing that at Lake Elsinore motocross. And you'll be able to start signing up for that class January 1st, which I believe is Friday. So that'll be up on the site. Other than that, we do this every Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Time. We hang out, we talk moto, and the way we do it, If you're new here, first time, you'll see a lot of these people that are here week after week. They'll throw question marks up on their questions, and that's how I can tell a question from a comment. So I usually scroll to the top, and you can see right here, right off the bat, Lauren's all the way to his first. He's the first one I'm seeing, so I'll just throw it up here so you guys can see. First time here. See how you see the question marks? That'll help me pick your question out. Otherwise, if there's no question marks, I'll probably scroll right past it because I'll think it's a comment. Because I can't read everybody's comments while we're up in here. I try to just get to the questions, hang out for about an hour, and we can talk whatever you guys want to talk. Bike setup, training, just race and freestyle, anything moto related, and whatever. Even I get a lot of faith questions and just family questions, whatever, background stuff, whatever you want to talk about. Well, it's Moto Monday, so for the main part, moto questions. But we'll jump in and get it started here with Big Lauren. And he says, how much would you need to come to Ashland, Kentucky for a week of training? He says, thanks, bro. I can house you and feed you, bikes and garage. For a week of training, man, I would have to think about all that and figure out. So here's the best way to figure out how to properly ask that question. I think, Lauren, I know you got my email because I've seen emails before. We've talked a lot before on Instagram and on just in Ronnie Faisst MX. So email info at Ronnie Faisst MX. I'll get it up here. Throw it right up here right now. Boom. Let me get his thing down so you can see it. But RonnieFaisstMX.com. Oh, wait. Hold on. That's the website. Email info at RonnieFaisstMX.com. I don't have that one up here to make it look all sweet, but email me there, and then we would have to figure out details on how many days of training and what that will look like, and just see schedule-wise and all that stuff. But yeah, that's the best way for me and you to work out details. Info at RonnieFaisstMX.com. Sweet. All right, so let's see. All right, here we go right here. All right, this is Lauren again. How many days does your class consist of usually? All right, so usually it's a one-day class. Semi-private, it's 5 hours with 5 riders. So 5 riders for 5 hours, a day class. We go from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., and so that's how we roll it. So, and all the information's on that website. So that website I had up here, if you ever want any info on classes, there's a whole page that kind of breaks down what we do and everything. So go to RonnieFaisstMX.com and you can get all the info you need on classes. And right now, if you go there, it says 22, because a couple people hit me up. It says 2021 classes coming soon, and then it says sold out underneath. It's just because there's no classes to buy yet. But people were thinking the whole 21 season was sold out. People were emailing me, and they're like, oh, man, you're already sold out for the year. No, I'm not sold out for a year. The way I'm going to do it is pretty much the month before each class, they'll start popping. So January 1st will be the January 30th class. You'll be able to book that. Once that's one done and we get close to February, boom, the February class will come. And it'll be January, February, March, will all be in California. And then we'll pick up here in April in the Midwest, and we'll go straight through November. But I'll be posting about it and talking about it as all that comes up. So you guys will be able to keep track with everything. Drew, let's get Brian up in here. Big Brian, he says, what would you say is one of your biggest setbacks and fears on and off the track that you had to overcome? That's a good question. Biggest setbacks and fears. Man, I feel like all injuries can have some type of setback. And I think the biggest for me is I had a 3-year run where I blew out my ACL, and I was off my bike 6 months. And I did that. The first ACL, it was a flip. I did a no-handed flip, and my bars turned, and I still rotated the flip. But when I went to grab back onto my bars, I had to put my foot out because the bike started to rotate sideways. Never even crashed. My foot hit the ground and turned my knee around, blew out my ACL. But it was a flip. The very next year, so off the bike for 6 months, came back, and I wasn't on my bike for that long. I can't remember how many months there was, but it was a short period of time, and I ended up crashing again and breaking my femur at a Nuclear Cowboy tour. And that was a flip trick as well. I went to do a knack flip, Oh no, one-handed knack flip. I want to do a one-handed knack flip, and the way we do those to kind of keep your foot from slipping off the peg, or at least that's how it should work, is you go down the first, and when you shift up the second, you leave your foot under the shifter, and it kind of locks it in there. So when you do a knack flip, it really gets you, feels like you can't come off that foot peg, because it's common for people to slip off the foot peg. Even doing regular upright knacks, I've seen people slip off the foot peg, go into a double knack, and ragdoll. Well, my foot, even though I was locked in, still made its way out, and I was doing a one-handed knack. So picture, I went into a one-handed double knack upside down, got to my bars, and then rotated the bike, landed on my belly, kind of like belly flopped onto my bike. And I was inside it was in Ontario, California, but inside that little hockey arena, super small, there's not much room, so I couldn't get to my rear brake, came down, and I ran right into the hockey wall. But I ran into it doing an endo, because all I had was front brake. I was braking so hard because I seen the wall come in, my bike rotated up like this, and it slingshotted me into the bleachers. Like, I launched into the bleachers and actually hit the wall and fell back down, but snapped my femur. Was out for 4 months. The very next year, and same thing. I wasn't on my bike. And I feel like I probably told this story before, because it's the 3-year like setback. This was a big. It's like boom, boom, boom. Very next year, tore my ACL on the other knee. So blew out the one knee, broke the other femur, and then blew out the other. But back to where I was having these. I was spending more time off my bike than I was on my bike. Every time I got back on my bike, I got hurt again. And the last ACL was another flip. I remember I went to do a Superman flip. It was me and Taka, and I was thinking about trying to ball up and kick. And I was like, man, I'm going to really just ball up really hard. And I was picturing doing a kiss of death in my mind, but that's what you want to do upside down when you do a super flip. But I was thinking so much about what I wanted to do with my body, totally forgot the flip. Rode off the ramp and just was leaning back and went into this biggest loop out. And just had to ditch the bike and jumped off. And obviously, I jumped off from 25, 30 feet, landed, boom. I felt my knee just go, wow. I had knee braces on too. I had on knee braces, still blew it out. But hey, it is what it is. But that setback of those 3 years, it got into my head. Because when I came back from that last ACL injury, I remember I had to go right on to tour with the Nuclear Cowboy Tour. And I hadn't had a chance to flip. So I showed up the rehearsal really nervous, thinking like, man, I hadn't even really flipped it. I was nervous. I'll be honest with you. I was nervous because every time I kept flipping, things were going wrong. I kept getting hurt. So I got worried about it and thinking through it too much. And I think trying to overcome that mental fear of like, I knew how to flip. It wasn't like I flipped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, but I kept getting hurt. And then it started to get into my head like, man, I don't want to crash anymore. I don't want to get hurt. I mean, I just spent 6 months off the bike with the first ACL, 4 months with the femur, and then another 6 months with the next ACL. So like I said, I felt like I was off my bike more than I was on. And those crashes, I mean, let's just be honest. A lot of times crashes, they're setbacks. If you can't close the thought pattern, because they can haunt you. You got to be able to close it off and put it in the back of your mind and forget about it. Act like it never happened. Get back on there and ride. And I've learned the only way to overcome all that fear, because I was nervous. I'll be honest with you. I was nervous to go out there and keep flipping. I had to just go do it. If I sat there and thought about it, I got nervous about it. That's why, I've told this story before where I memorized, that was the tour. I used to say all those Bible verses, because I would sit there in the tunnel and I'd be waiting to go, and then I would be like, oh man, like, what happens if my bike bogs? Or like, oh man, I hope I don't pull too hard and my hand slip off. So I didn't want to have those thoughts and make me super nervous about doing my run, that I just remembered Bible verses and guarded my mind. So I basically shut the door of all these negative thoughts. Because let's just be honest, your brain can get good thoughts, bad thoughts. So it's like, which way are you going to go? You're going to listen to the bad and get really nervous and scared and shrink back in fear and then not want to do what you know you can do, or block it out and just speak truth. That's what the Bible, in my opinion, is the word of God. It's called a sword. It's meant to cut the head off lies. So I memorized all these verses, and I used to just sit there And no weapon formed against me shall prosper. He who is in me is greater than he who is in the world. If God is for me, who can come against me? And I would just recite all this stuff. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And I would just sit there and rattle off Bible verses. And then as soon as the dude said go, it was Mickey Diamond, who was our tour manager. Boom, he gave me the thing. I was fine. I just had to like not sit there and think through it. So I would say that was a long answer for that question. But that was a big... For me, that was it was a mental thing that I had to get through, and I used the Word of God to conquer my fears. That's how I did it. So, good question, Brian. Let's see. Where's V? See, is it V? I don't know where V does. Look at little Adam up here. He's asking about V Dusky. I'm sure he'll come. He always working. He pops in late. I'm sure he's in here. He might already be in here. All right, so that's Eric saying, what up, what up? All right, I was just reading a couple. All right, here we go here. All right, this is Anthony. He said, that's a good question. He said, how has Mickey Diamond been doing recovering from his head injury from the bike accident? That's cool, because I just actually just brought his name up. So pretty cool question. Mickey, as far as I know, is doing good. I haven't talked to him in maybe 3 months, but I did talk to him a couple months ago, and he was doing good. Everything was, I mean, here's the deal. Like, he sounded like Mickey. He didn't sound like there was, you know what I mean? You know how some people crash and they get a head injury, and you can talk to him, and you can tell, like, man, he doesn't seem like he's the same as he was. Like, Mickey seems completely the same. So I think he's making 100% comeback. And, man, just a big shout out to Mick, like, coolest dude in the world, the nicest guy, the most caring guy, one of the funnest dudes to tour with and to ride with. Oh, his best interest was always the riders, and just love that dude. And just a funny dude. That dude makes me laugh. So I'm glad he, if you guys didn't know, he went for a gnarly bike crash this summer. And he doesn't even remember what happened. He's like, I don't even know how it crashed. But he goes, I believe he was with like Jeff Ward the day he crashed, but they think he hit his arm with his knee or something, and it turned his bars real quick, and it just boom. He had a helmet on and stuff, but he went straight over the bars, straight to his face on the asphalt. So pretty gnarly. But shout out to Big Mick. Miss that guy. I'm putting him on my list on the Cali trip to go see, though. I gotta go see Mick, dude. He's so fun. All right, so we got Lauren back up here again. He says, is there a price you pay for fame in the FMX world like that of a music industry? Is there a price to pay for fame in the FMX? I mean, I feel like, I don't know, dude. I feel like in the FMX world, I don't really know how, end of the day, like, dude, I know all the FMX dudes pretty well, and all those dudes, none of those dudes did it for fame. Like, they all love what they did. At the end of the day, most of the guys I came up with were all racers who just wanted to race. They were privateers. They wanted to race. And, you know, things didn't work out in racing. We went free riding. All of a sudden, we started creating a new sport, and it caught on to a buzz. And all of a sudden, all of us were like, hold up. There's an opportunity over here, and we might be able to make a living doing our dirt bikes. And we all shifted gears and focused on doing tricks and created a whole new sport. And I think that's, at the end of the day, we just wanted to ride our dirt bike. And we started having so much fun doing tricks. You know, it was awesome. So, I mean, the pay the price for fame, I think, you know, I think the price that every moto dude pays is those injuries we were talking about in the beginning. You know, I feel like that just comes with the sports. One thing I think all of us know, whether you're a racer or a freestyle guy, is there's high risk riding dirt bikes, and I think we're willing to risk that, whether it's, you know, for fame or for you know, a factory ride or an opportunity at a big event. I think everybody's willing to take that risk because they love what they do. It's, you know, if you get hurt, you get hurt. It is what it is. It sucks, but we all know that's part of the game. I'm saying Money Moto Monday. That's too fun. All right, let's see. I'm just looking for questions. We got Nate Dogg here. He says, what up? All right, I thought that was a question. All right, here we go. Get Liam up here. He says, hey, Feist. The militia like to party. He's like, oh, I know. See those little IK. You gotta understand the new lingo online. I'm getting old and catch up with all the new kids slick stuff. That's I know, the IK. I know the militia like to party. Were you guys ever invited to the Playboy Mansion? Actually, yes. That's pretty funny. We were. So yeah, militia dudes always party, and yes, we did get invited to the mansion party. If you went online, you probably find there is a picture of me and Deegan from there, from back in the day. It's floating around online somewhere, but yeah, the Playboy Mansion. I feel like anyone who's grew up in LA and done anything has probably been to it. So it's not as hyped as everybody thinks. It's overhyped, in my opinion. All right, so we got KS here. Let's see KS. KS. Could you please sponsor me so I can get into Nitro Circus? Is it okay if you... Oh, wait. It's okay if you can. I never asked for one before, so I don't know how it works. Sponsor me. I don't know. I don't think Nitro Circus, because I know you're like a fire dancer and stuff, because I got your letter and stuff, and your little fire thing. So I know you do that. I don't think it works like sponsorship. I think you just need to. I don't know who. Well, Nitro Circus is Travis Pastrano's tour, but I'm sure there's a tour manager. I don't know who the tour manager is, but that's who you need to get in touch with. It's not necessarily like someone's going to sponsor you and send you on tour. It's more or less you just need to figure out who's hiring the dancers. Like there is a tour manager and they have a budget. They're going to hire the riders. They're going to hire the dancers. They're going to hire the music guys. They're going to hire a crew of people to run this tour. You need to just find out who, because I guarantee you the Nitro promoter in Australia is an Australian guy. So, and it might be an Australian company. So you need to see who's the promoter in Australia that puts on the Nitro tour there. Because I know when we came over there when we did Krusty's, think about it, Krusty Demons and Dirt is an American company owned by John Freeman and Daniel Nicholson. But when we went to Australia to do the tour, there was an Australian promoter. I'm trying to think of his name. Michael Pora was the Australian promoter. And I don't know. I don't think he does the nuclear tour. I have no idea who does it. I've never been on that tour. But that's what you need to find out. Find out who the tour guy, who's putting on the tour, and then contact that company and tell them, say, I'm a dancer. I'm sure, or if you know anyone who's danced on that tour, have them figure it out. Or anyone. If you have any connects with the Australian riders that have rode that tour, they'd be a perfect way to say, hey, who's the promoter? And then, boom, once you get that guy's email, tell him, say, hey, I'm a fire dancer. I'd like to be on tour. Here's my couple photos and couple videos of me doing what I do. Boom, and you might get on there. Sweet. All right, so we got Pete here. What is your favorite drill or on the bike practice? Favorite drill? Man, I feel like I got all types of little drills I like to do with my students, but I'm thinking personal now. Like, what do I like to do? I think, like, when I look back, and this is just outside of freestyle, just riding, and it really relates to my speed and style because I really like running whoop drills, like learning how to skim the whoops and practice the whoops. Because in speed and style, it was almost like if you could rip the whoops, that was a perfect place to pass because it was so hard to pass out there. So I really love. And there's a real technique to getting on top of the whoops and learning how to skim them and not drop into them. And so that was always my favorite. I built a really nice set at my house. They weren't deadly, but they weren't weak either. They were right in the middle. They were scary enough that you were a little bit intimidated, but they were nowhere near like the dudes ride on the Supercross weekends. Those things are way too gnarly. But they were fun. And I really enjoyed going out there every single day, and I just would ride them back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Then I'd switch my line and ride them over here, and then I'd go through them backwards, and that was just fun. Just figuring out how to get faster in them, trying different techniques, looking farther through them, going up a gear, and just even where you're pinching, how you're pinching down low versus just pinching at the knees, pinching through from the ankles all the way up, and then even bringing the head down towards the crossbar pad. A little bit and filming it and then studying yourself and getting your technique on point and then watching and feeling the improvement is it's motivating. It motivates you. You get pumped when you can see and feel yourself getting faster. So that was always fun. So I'm going with the whoop practice, whoop drills, stadium whoop drills. And anything can be a drill. It doesn't, like, think about it. Any type of practice, like anytime you're just narrowing in on something could be a drill. You know, you could say like, hey, I'm going to work on cliffhangers today. And if there was one part of your cliffhanger that needed to be focused in, that could be like a drill. Like maybe it's a lot of times you see people doing cliffhangers in their back like this, you know, and you want to try to get straight up with the forks. So just focusing on getting forward, and a lot of that starts where you start the trick at. If you lock in and you're already leaning back, where do you think your body's going when you push back? So if you come off the lip and lean as far forward as you can, so when you lock your feet in and you're already in line with the forks, when you stand up, you go straight. So a lot of that has to do where you start your trick. So that was a fun. I used to love doing those cliffhangers. It used to be my first trick I would throw every single morning. I come out, cliffhanger, first one. All right, let me find another. Let's look for another. All right, we got Eric Davis here. And like I said, if I skip you, I'm trying not to skip anybody. I'd say, what's your favorite memory of being a part of the Whosoever team and hanging with Head and Sonny and Ryan? All right, so just to fill everybody in, the Whosoever, let me get a drink here. The Whosoevers is a ministry in Southern California. It's called the Whosoevers. It's got Sonny from POD. It's got Head from Korn, Ryan Reese. He used to be he was the team manager for I think it's called, it was a skate shoe. Psycha? I forget the name of the shoe. But anyway, all those dudes run it. What is my favorite memory? Just giving you guys some background so you guys know what the Whosoever is. And they do ministry, do high school ministry, but that's what I did with them. We would go into high schools in Southern California and we'd just share our story. Every single one of us had crazy testimonies of like how we became believers. So I'm trying to think of if there's one memory that stuck out. I mean, I feel like I just enjoy hearing those dudes tell their testimonies. They have the crazy testimonies. I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard Head's testimony. I know he has a couple books. How you can get his book, you read his book. But if you're looking for a quick, short version of it, there is a ministry that's called I Am Second. And if you just Google iamsecond.com or I Am Second Christian testimony, or put in like Brian Head Welch testimony, I Am Second, and you probably can find it here on YouTube, and just listen to his story and listen, because this is someone who you know, came. It was a rock and roll. If you guys know, everybody knows who Korn was, right? He was the lead guitarist for Korn, and he has a crazy story. So I enjoyed, I would say probably the first time that I heard the story, because then obviously you travel one, you hear it over and over. But the first time I heard it and just hear how the dude became a believer and what God did in his life is really cool. And so if you haven't checked it out, go look that up on YouTube and hear it, because it's crazy how God shows up in people's lives. And Ryan Reese has a very similar story as well. So pretty cool. But anyway, like I said, someone like that, when you think about rock star status, like the real rock star status, not rock star motocross status, okay? Because there's levels. There's definitely levels of things, and he's on a whole different level. Korn, multi-millions, millions, like millions, crazy levels. And then he had drug addictions and all types of other stuff. And God showed up in his life and radically transformed him to where he's a full-blown lover of God. Like, but he still looks like Head. Like, if you saw Head on the street, you would not. I wouldn't think like, okay, this is a like a Jesus-loving dude. You would just think he's a rock and roll dude. But then you talk to him, and he talks about God, and you talks about the Bible, and you're like, this dude's real. He has a real story. He had a real encounter, and he really knows God, and he's genuine, and I connected with that. So anyway, check it out. Cool story. All right, KS. Let's see. KS saying, If you had any superpowers, what would it be and why? This is a good question. I've never thought about that. I'm saying I'm flying, okay? I think I would like to fly. I think that would be cool, right? Just get to A and B super quick, super fast. Superman status. That's what I'd say. I never thought about that one before, but that was the first one getting in my mind. I think that'd be fun. Flying would be fun. And we all might be able to fly someday. All right, here we go. Favorite food. Favorite food, much love. I like all types of food, but man, it's a toss-up. My all-time favorite either has to be Italian or sushi, one or the other, because it's a teeter between the two. Because every time we go to dinner, they're always the spots I like to hit. Hit the Italian spot or the sushi spot. Yeah, that's a tough one. I like them both. I like all types of food, but man, if anyone's local here, Brian, I know you're not too far from here. Come to North. Actually, they have them in California because I seen one in San Diego. But we had this place called North. It's in Leawood off of like 130. It's off of like 119th and Row. North Italiana. I take Big Feist there every time he's here. Place, it's so good. Chicken parm. So I know Brian's local. So you might have to take the wife there one night, brother. It's good. All right, so we got Chris Thomas. Here we go. How do you mentally come back from a crash like that? Seems like it would sketch a person out so bad. And I'm assuming maybe just answer my question before you got it. Oh, wait. Wow, answer my question before you got it. All right. I was getting ready to say, I'm probably talking about what we were talking about earlier. But, yeah, and I would go back. You have to get to the point, like I said before, you almost just have to make a decision to block it out. Because by nature, the thoughts will keep trying to creep up on you, and you have to you can't think about it. You have to try to think about something else. So, and like I said before, what I've learned, the only way to because you're getting nervous, you haven't been on your bike 4 or 5 months, you're feeling a little sketchy, you don't want to crash and get hurt again, you go out there and you're a little timid, The only way to get through that is to ride. So you have to go out every day, go back out, run through the tricks, do your laps, whatever it is, and ride. The more you ride, the more the confidence comes back, and then the fear kind of disappears. And when you're confident, you're not. Fear's not even an issue when you're confident. The reason there's a little bit of fear and worry there is because you lost a little bit of confidence. And the only way to build that confidence is to get back out there and get that seat time. Confidence comes from preparation. I posted that before, and it's true. Well, like when you're prepared, you're confident. So you go out there and you ride and you get that seat time in, you get prepared, and the confidence is there. You're not worried, you're not full of fear. You're actually like, you're on point, and you're like, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to compete, I'm going to take it, and you're ready. So, seat time. Block it out and get back on the saddle. It says, so we've got Wyatt. It says, are you running stock Husky plastics? Actually, I am. I do. My whole bike is basically stock. All my plastics are as well. But I am getting the new 2021 Rockstar Edition, and I noticed they have yellow. All right, so other than my fork guards, I swapped those out. But other than that, everything is stock. But the new ones come with yellow. I think they have yellow fork guards and a yellow rear fender. And then they have black shrouds now. So because I'm only black and white with a little bit of red, obviously I'm going to change out the fork guards. I think I'm going to leave the black shrouds though and just see how it looks with my graphic kit. But I'm definitely taking that yellow fender off the back. So I'll probably go white fender on the back, black fork guards, black shrouds. With my kit I've been running. I'm going to keep that kit. I like that kit. All right, here we go. Let's get Patrick up here. Thinking about getting some high-end knee, wrist, elbow braces after all the injuries I've had. Wait, I lost the. How bad is it? Wait, how bad is your riding flexibility impact from wearing these? I only wear knee braces. I don't wear the wrist or elbow braces at all. But the knee braces I wear, I can't even tell I have them on. I wear a Asterisk, the new carbon fiber Asterisk. I know I put links in. I don't know if there's a link that there will be a link. If Mel was here tonight, we'd probably get you a link. I guarantee you there'd be a link. But just check, because it might be in the description anyway. It might already be in there. Try to put stuff up there in case somebody's looking for something. But anyway, I can't even tell I have those on. Like, they're so light and so thin and so comfortable. Can't even tell. But I've seen a lot of guys use those wrist brace. I know Roxon rides in them, and I think it's like anything. I think even if it did feel a little awkward at first, I think if you ride in it long enough, you'll just never even realize you had it. So it's one of those things. If you need them, dude, I would just get what you need to feel comfortable and confident on your bike and just ride with them and give it a few rides, and eventually you won't even think about it. Because that's how it is. I look back when I first started wearing knee braces, I could tell I was wearing them. But over time, knee braces have gotten better. And so I think where knee braces at now, it's like if you've been wearing them for a while, you can't even tell you have them on. But there was a time when you're like, okay, first day in them, you're like, oh, this feels a little bit different. But just ride. Keep wearing them. It's better to have the protection you need than not wear them. Like you ever see people show up at the track and they don't even have knee cups on? They just ride with their pants are real baggy in their knee, and you like look and you're like, why's your pants so baggy in your knee? You're like, you got knee pads on? They're like, no. You're like, I would never go out on the track without no knee pads on. Like, I wouldn't even go out on track without knee braces. But could you, like, I just think, like, they don't know. They don't know what it's like to hit that kneecap on the ground, do they? Because you wouldn't be out there with your kneecaps hanging out if you've already hit them and known. But gear up, man, because these things, you're going to fall off at some point, so make sure you're geared up. All right. Let's get Tommy Shea up here. It says, all right, what are you seeing in effects of the COVID in Moto? Anything good? The effects of COVID in Moto. I mean, I would say I look at the schedule for Supercross series. I would think that has to be an effect because that's COVID. Think about it. The Southern California races are always sold out. There's always multiple ones. They're always the first ones. You got A1, A2. They're not even on schedule yet. And why? Is because California's on these crazy lockdowns that you can't even they don't even let you go in restaurants out there yet. So they're not going to let 70,000 people gather for a Supercross. So I think you're seeing big time COVID effects in the moto scene, especially with the Supercross series. And I think it sucks, to be honest with you, because those Cali rounds are sweet, you know, and they're not even on the schedule yet. Or they're not on the schedule at all. I don't think they're coming. I said yet. I don't think they're coming back. They're just off for the year. Hopefully 2022 they'll be back. But anyway, but as far as the second part of the question, anything good? I mean, the way I look at it, like, hey, at least there's a series still. And yeah, it stinks for all the California fans and for the industry people and, you know, everyone that's, you know, not able to go that. But then at the same time, now it's shifting. I think there's 3 in Texas where there's another, I feel like there's 3 in Texas and then there's another group in another place. The way you look at it, like, hey, all those Texas people, hey, they get 3 rounds now. So good for them out there. So switch it up a little bit. You know, the California people are always getting spoiled with all the rounds. Now the Texas people are going to have some, get some love and get some, you know, 3 rounds to go to out there. So I might have to drive down for one because I ain't that far from Texas. All right, so let's get a little Monroe with the super chat love. Boom. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you being here every week. It's our homie from Mexico, Monroe, here week after week. All right. We got Adam. Boom. We got Adam here. When he says, I'm broke Christmas, y'all know, V-dubs. So, little shout out for Adams here, week after week, always showing love. And hey, man, I hope you had a good Christmas. Be safe out there on the road. He drives those trucks for a living out there on those freeways. All right, so Big Bang, here we go. Big Bang saying Nitro's caught off in Australia. So, hey, KS, it might not even be happening. See, that's it. I mean, a lot of the big tours have not been able to happen, and I don't know if that is even from COVID. That might just be a freestyle thing, you know? All right, let's get Eric here. He says, do you recall jumping over a canal in South Florida on a little RM? Man, you're making me think right now. If I jumped over a canal in South Florida on a little RM, because my mom lived in South Florida when I was growing up, and my brother lived with her. He had a little RM. So I would have had to been on my brother's bike. And the funny thing is I have pictures. I had pictures of me and my brother riding that thing down in South Florida together. So I don't remember jumping over the canal, but I remember going down to Florida and riding my brother's bike all the time. So I'll probably, if that's where it was, like, I'm trying to think of the town. Not Naples. It wasn't Naples, was it? I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember the town my mom lived in, but I do going down there. So hey, I might have launched a canal on my brother's RM back in the day. That's too funny. All right. Let's see. All right, here we go. We get Brian up here. He says, have you been to Bar to Bar MX? If not, we should go. Road trip. I haven't, dude, and I'm with you. Let's hit it, because I've seen the post, and it's like a sand track, and it looks fun and good. So if we get some warm weather, because it's kind of chilly out there today, dude, let's hit it, though. I'm down. I'm all in. All right, so Lauren's saying the Mobis, is that how you say that? Times 8 knee brace should be here tomorrow. How long did it take you to get used to them? Like I said, if you never rode knee braces, it might take you a little bit longer if they're new to you. But I started riding in braces pretty early when I was on my 80s, so I kind of grew up with them. But I'm trying to think way back then, it's a couple rides. It's like you just got to put them on and ride with them. And if you're really focusing on what you're doing and riding, you're gonna forget about your knee braces. You know, if you're thinking about your knee braces, you're gonna be like, oh, they're kind of bulky. That's because you're focusing on them. But just forget about them and focus on what you're doing out there, and you won't know you have them on. So give it a couple rides. I'd say it'd be completely out of your mind, especially if they're like newer ones these days. Like I said, those new ones are pretty legit. All right, favorite two-stroke from back in the day. Also, do you prefer two-strokes or four-stroke dirt bikes? Four-stroke dude for sure, and favorite two-stroke back in the day. I mean, I'm going to have to go with CR 250 two-stroke. And I'm going to go with the 2007 because that was the last year that I rode 250 Honda two-strokes. And I believe it's the last year that Honda made a 250 two-stroke. I don't even think you can get them after 2007. But I had some pretty sweet 2007s. Actually, I think that black frame one that I had might have been a 2006. But they were the same bike. I'm just saying, I had a black one I sold to this Canadian dude, and I've been thinking about trying to find the guy and buy it back and just like restore it and put it, because that's the one. I think this is the bike I landed my 360 on. It's like the one thing that I wish I didn't do was sell all my X Games bikes. Especially, you know, like think about it. A Honda 2007 two-stroke CR250. Like, if they really never make that bike again, like, that's a really cool bike to have in your garage, in my opinion. Especially one that you competed on and won some medals. I'm like, why did I sell those? Like, what was I thinking? Idiot. Anyway, that Canadian dude you're watching, I might be trying to buy that bike back from you, brother. Carne asada, tacos. Yeah, I like those too, Patrick. All right, you guys are talking tacos. You're gonna get me hungry, man. I actually had some deer before I jumped on here. I cooked up some deer steaks, but I'm still hungry. Big Feist saying cookies. Yeah, man. All right, looking for some. All right, here we go. Bruno. He says, "How does the Husky go compared to the Hondas?" I mean, I think all the bikes are really good these days. It's, in my opinion. I think a lot of it's personal preference, but my Husky's fast. It's skinny. It's light, and it's got really good brakes. And it's good out the box. Like, my bike is, honestly, I'm not joking around when I say it's bone stock. It's bone stock. Like, I put a pipe on it, and I went up like 1 tooth on the rear sprocket. That's it. It's got bone stock suspension, and it's fine. Like, it doesn't feel sketchy. So it's like sometimes I remember you'd get bikes with stock suspension and they were sketchy. You're like, okay, I got to get this done. My bike's fine. Like, I've been riding it like that for a while because I'm like, it's not that bad. Like, of course, getting it done would definitely be an improvement and make it better. But I'm like, man, it's not bad for bone stock. Like, it doesn't feel sketchy. It feels safe. So I think that's saying something about the WP suspension coming on the Huskies. It's pretty good right out the box. And the pipe did make a nice jump in the hit. So I do recommend, if you go with a Husky, put a pipe on it because it was noticeably different. Like, out the box, I'm like, okay, it's not bad. And then I put the pipe on it. I'm like, this thing's legit. So definitely go with the pipe if you get it. But I got nothing but love for Hondas, and I've never talked down on Hondas ever. Grew up on them, love them, rode majority of my career on them, and got a chance to ride Twitches a couple months ago and felt at home on it. So Honda's a great bike, and I don't think you ever could go wrong riding a Honda either. I think, in my opinion, I like that. I say this all the time: Honda, Cowie, and Husky. They're the 3 bikes that. The only other one I had was, I never rode Yamahas, but I rode Suzuki once, and that was my least favorite out of those 3. And out of all those 3, I felt comfortable and good on them all. So I feel like those 3 bikes are legit. All right, have I got a new bike, and how you like it? Haven't got it yet. That's another thing that's coming. And the thing is, all the Husky guys are gone until after the New Year. So, but it's all in the works. I already filled out the paperwork with those dudes, and I should probably, as long as they can get it sent here, because they gotta ship it from wherever they're getting it from, and they're gonna go through a local shop here. I think it's gonna go through Donnell's here in Missouri side. But soon as, I'm assuming in January, I should have it at some point. So I'll be pumped. And then I'll probably have to stare at it for a little while because it's probably going to be too cold to ride it through January, February. But it's all good. Get the graphics on it and work on it and get it ready to rip. So come spring, it's on. Have a new bike. All right, so let's get Big Bang up here. It says, you should try to do a live with Twitch when you're out in Cali. Yeah, man, I agree. That would be fun. That's another thing. I'm writing that down right now. Because I brought this up before, and then we got on Christmas. What was I just thinking? The software. We and Mel were talking about getting some type of software to where we can do that right from here. I definitely could look into doing it with Twitch, but the thing is, when I'm in Cali, it's such a short trip, and it's like I got so many friends there. It's like it's really hard to get things done. But it's not impossible. Got Taka to do one with me last time I was there. But I had Mel with me, which was helpful. It's my little setup. Set up all the cameras, get everything dialed in. I'm going solo on this one. But I definitely keep in mind. But either way, we that's on the list now. And I'm circling it because I really want to do that these next couple months while it's chilly here. Get the software to where I could call Twitch from here, and you could see me and Twitch on the screen, and we could have a conversation. It'd be almost the same as me sitting down with him in Cali. But we'll see. We'll see if anybody's up and going. Like I said, I'm only going. I'm there I already booked my flight. I think I'm there from the 28th to the 1st. Classes on the 30th, and just there's my brother still lives there. There's Twitch, Deegan, Taka, and then a gazillion other friends. So I'm always trying to see everybody real quick. So it's like hard to, makes it a little bit tougher. But definitely, it's a great idea, and I would love to. But either way, that don't work. We're going to start trying to get these guys on here from right here so we can hang out with them. I think it was sweet. All right, let's get Big Nate here. What is your favorite set of tires? Also, just had a boy on the 16th. What you think about putting him on a bike right at 12 months? I don't know. Like, what is too early for kids? I feel like Danger Boy. I only can just think. I don't have kids, so I always just think about like my friends. Like, I look like when did they like get their kids riding? I think honestly, Danger Boy was riding that too. I don't know. if it was a 50, or if we just had like one of those little, like, now what are they, like, what are the little, is it like a Strider bike or something? What are they called? You know what I'm talking about? It's almost like a bicycle, but it's kind of like a dirt bike. It's in between. So 12 months, I don't know, dude. That might be that might be real early, but hey, who knows? But I honestly think like 2, 3 is realistic. I feel like there's definitely kids riding that 2 or 3. But anyway, back to the tire thing. Favorite set of tires. That's a good question too, because I always try to think what's on my bike. And I know people have asked me this before, and I should probably know off the top of my head. What is squid, huh? Like, what is on my bike? It's Dunlap, obviously. So I'm going down. I'm just trying to give you the pattern. It's the... Gosh, man, I'm squirreling out hard on you. It's the 52, right? What is that tire? Who knows that tire pattern? 52? M52? Man, I'm gonna check now because I should know that. I'm squidding out on you. And I've answered that question before, and I looked, but this is how terrible I am at memory things. But anyway, I'm going to look again, and I'm going to try to remember what's on my bike, so the next time someone asks me, I can give them a good answer. But Dunlap, and it's an intermediate tire, if that helps or not. It's an intermediate tire, and it's like a 50. I almost want to say it's a M52, I think that's what it is. M52. Does that sound about right? But I think that's what it is. Intermediate, though. I like the intermediates because it's not sandy here in the Midwest. It's maybe a little bit towards a hard pack, but it's not complete hard pack. So you kind of go with the intermediate, and it kind of works good, you know. And it works good on the ramps. I always use those tires on the ramps too. So if you hit ramps, it's a good one. All right, let's get Howard up here. He says Twitch would have to be on his best behavior. That fool don't know how to behave. He'll be cursing up a storm. We'll have to beep him out every 10 seconds. Beep, 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 beep. Favorite band? I don't really have a favorite band, to be honest with you. But I like old classic rock sometimes. Like sometimes I just put on like classic rock, like old classic rocks, and I'll have on like the Doors and Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin. I listen to the old stuff, dude. I'm old, man. I listen to some old school stuff. But when I grew up, I listened, like, obviously I grew up, like, I was born in the late 70s, I grew up in the 80s, like, the bands that were, remember, all, like, dude, it was like Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Bon Jovi, Cinderella, like, it was all those hair bands. And I've been to a couple of those concerts, man. That'd be funny. But then I kind of got into like the hip hop stuff and listened to that for a while. And then I became a Christian, and I listen to worship music the most. But I'll throw on the rock station here and there, especially if I'm down packing orders. Throw it on, rock out while I'm packing up some orders. All right, so we got Adam here. He said, "What up, brother?" Oh wait. I got a brother, so no, yeah, it took me a second to catch it. No, not Deegan. So I do have a brother. My brother, did I say that? Did I mention it? My brother lives in Kansas, or Cali. My brother lives in Cali, so I do have a brother. I mean, Twitch, Deegan, Taka, they're all like my family anyway, but I do have a brother who lives in California. He's my half-brother, so he's not Big Feist's son, so everybody's trying to want. He's my mom's son, so half-brother. Oh, Vidubsky is in the house. There he is, my brother. We were looking for you, man. He says, looking forward to a new year, new positive vibes. Got the Rockstar autograph hat for my buddy at work. Big surprise. Should have done with the Feist replica pit bike we have been building the last 6 months. Going to plan a trip your way when it's finished. Yes, sir. Well, V-Dusky, man. We're glad you made it, dude. We figured you were at work. Glad you're here, man. Glad you had a good Christmas and good surprise for the homie, dude. V-Dub, it's so funny, everybody. It's so funny when you just look at everybody. V-Dub, V-Dub. They love you, man. All right, so I'm seeing, let's see. MX3s. I think it's I think you're right. Dunlap MX53. Does that sound right? Does that sound right? Yeah, MX-53. Big Feist is on it. That's what I think it is. MX-53. That's right. I should know these things, dude. Team Squirrel over here. Don't even know what tires you got on your bike. Here's Big Feist's favorite band, Padded Cell. So that was Big Feist's band. They got an album out. Big Feist, anybody knows, was a drummer growing up. He still got skills. All right, so it says, when are you going to get to see little Ronnie or Mel babies rock? Soon, maybe. Hair bands for the win. I'm reading comments now. Yeah, the hair bands. Come on, you couldn't have grown up in the 80s and not listen to hair bands. Right? Part of the deal. All right. All right, so let's get Monroe up here. And like I said, if I skipped anybody's questions, because then I think I'm at the bottom here. But if I missed anybody, pop it back up, because we got a few more minutes. Oh, I think I might have missed Tommy Shea. I see a question mark. All right, let me hit Monroe up, and then maybe we jump up to Tommy Shea. All right, it says, what is the best alarm to wake up in the morning? Eye of the Tiger or Michael Jackson? I actually like Michael Jackson, dude. Michael Jackson's a legend, dude. Come on. Nobody was cooler than Michael Jackson. Don't act like... Come on, man. You guys didn't have the leather jacket and the glove when you were kids. Everyone had the Michael Jackson glove. Dude, the dude's a legend, dude. He got a little weird at the end. We'll say that. He did get a little weird at the end. He should have just stayed black, in my opinion. He was way cooler when he was black. When he decided to get white, he got weird. But anyway, I still like him. The old school videos, Billie Jean, Beat It, come on. Those are classics. I like that classic stuff. It's fun. I don't know. Maybe it's because I just watch it so much. MTV used to be cool back in the day when they only played music videos. That's what I remember. That was played nonstop, especially if I went to my grandma's house because my cousin was always there and she just always was on MTV. So I watched a lot of MTV growing up. And especially, remember all the old rap videos with Run DMC and Aerosmith, Walk This Way. They were cool videos, dude. LL Cool J, all those videos were sick. All right, let me wrap it up here. All right, let me scroll back up and see, make sure I didn't miss one. Did Tommy Shea... Yeah, let me see. I'm going to pop this up. This might be says, sorry, I had to lay interested. It seems the private tracks are now going away. So can we do a national private season for the future backup plan? So it could, man. I'm thinking he's saying like do a national series at the private tracks. That'd be pretty cool. There's some pretty cool private tracks out there. All right. All right. Eric Davis. Let's get Eric Davis up here. What do you think of the new Supercross 2021 schedule? Yeah, miss our Chick-fil-A. I mean, hey, the way I look at it, like, at least there's a schedule. I was a little personally disappointed there wasn't California stops because I was planning on going to California and doing some classes and then watching some Supercrosses. They're going to book them the same weekend, and they plucked them. So then I was like, dang. And then there were going to be some in Arizona. So Twitch was like, yo, DBK is getting a booth in February at the Arizona round. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to book my class out there that same time. So I'm going to come out. We're going to do my class. I'm going to drive down to Arizona with you and hang out. He's like, sweet. Then they plucked that. So I was upset about that, but that's just me personally because it was messing up my plans. So I was like, shoot, dude, I ain't going to see no Supercross this year. But at the end of the day, hey, at least there's a series. And good for the people in Texas. And I feel like there's one other state. I just can't remember. Was it Tennessee? I feel like it was something odd. Like there's 3 other rounds in another state. And I'm like, man, lucky them. So good for them. There's a lot of other fans in a lot of other places don't get to see a whole lot of Supercross all the time. So good for them. All right. Big Adam here with the super chat. He says, here's some more money. Here's some more Money Monday since V-Dubs. All right, man. Well, I appreciate Adam, man. That's too funny. He said, screw it. With the super dad, like, we appreciate you, brother. Showing the super chat love. That's too funny. All right, so we're getting close to 8 o'clock, but hey, let's get let's get Eric up here. I'm seeing this here. Who has the better whip, Bierman, Slayko, or Wanky? Woo! Man, that is a good question. Because all three of those dudes are sick. Man, Bierman is tight. Wanky's sick. Man. Because I feel like Wanky has a nasty turn down. I don't think Wanky's got a better standard whip than Slay and Bierman, though. So who's better? Bierman or Slayko? I might go with Slay, dude. I don't know. It's a toss-up because Bierman's sick, dude. Bierman can kill it. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good one. Who do you guys think? Bierman or Axel? Who's your pick? Throw it up here as we end. Who's your pick between Bierman and Axel? Because they're both sick. I don't know. I give them a draw. It's hard to pick, especially when you're friends with both of them. They're both your buddies. It's hard. It's easier, like, if someone's really close and one of them's your buddy, you always go with your buddy. I probably shouldn't say that. I'm a judge. Caught me on tape. That's too funny. All right, so people, I was looking for the comments. I was Slay, Bierman, Slay. Yeah, it's hard, Slay, huh? Monroe says Wanky. And then we got another, someone saying McNeil, Raha. Yeah, it's tough. These dudes are so good. It's seriously, there's so many good guys, and like they're so close and so good. It's hard. It's a toss-up sometimes, you know. But the thing is I'm fair when it comes to judging. Don't get me wrong. When they're that close, there's always that one dude who gets that one, just a little bit farther than the one guy. Even though like the whole time they might be right there, and then boom, and that one you're like, that's why that was Bierman. The last Summer X I did judge, he had that one whip that it was sick, nasty. It was the best one of the day, so I won. So, yeah, everybody's gone. It's a tough one, dude. I feel you guys. Someone said best whip Feist. My whips are weak, dude. Ain't nobody, I can't get in no best whip. Best kick out. Best butt whip. All right, man. It's 8 o'clock. Thanks for hanging out, man, here on Moto Monday, man. We do this every Monday night. If you need any info, look us up on RonnieFeistMX.com. If not, make sure you give us a little follow or a shout out at Ronnie Faisst on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and all that. And then we will see you guys next week. Peace out. Moto Monday, baby. Thanks for hanging.